No job. Mm-mm. Hey, Wednesday. Hopefully I could be seen. Hey, Sunshine. How you doing? Hey, Jackson. Hey, babe. How y'all doing? Let me share this out. Hey, Will. Hey, sis. How you doing? Let me try to share this out. I don't even know. How you doing tonight? Y'all can grab a mic if y'all want. We got a good topic tonight. Oh, thank you, babe. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Bryce. I followed you back, babe. Hey, Fox. What's up, y'all? So tonight's topic is what should be done about ICE. Do you support or oppose ICE? Let's talk about it. What do I think about ICE?
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What?
Can I borrow $15? Like, can you put that in my wallet? Like, can you give me the $15 in my wallet so I can buy something?
Yeah, you got to use my card that's in my wallet. What do I think about ICE?
Wait, where's your wallet?
Look on the counter. Well, let me see if you're even still in here. What do I think about it? I think it's necessary. Well, let me first start off by saying I think it's necessary, but I do think, you know what I mean, it can be tweaked some. I don't agree with how they're doing it, you know, but I think every country needs something like ICE if you're going to be dealing with immigration issues. Hey, Dread. That's just my point of view, but I'm open to hear other people's point of view, huh?
Making sure.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so good.
You're welcome. I'm open to hear other people's point of view.
But where is it?
What? It's the red card.
This one?
Yeah, don't connect it to your game.
I'm not.
Hey, too cold. Yeah, that's my opinion. I feel like I got a couple of questions. Let me cut this light on. I got a couple of questions like for y'all, like what do you think ICE's primary role should be in the United States? Like why do what role do they play? Why do we need it? Why do we need it? Grab a mic. Grab a mic, babe. Hey J Wall. Why we need it? I mean, that's the same thing. That's like asking why we need the police. For multiple reasons, I think we need it. I mean, unless people gonna do the right thing on their own and come in the right way, like some people do. But if you got people who choose to not do it the right way, then you need people like ICE. Or, I mean, maybe should it be a state's issue? That's another question. I kind of believe it should be a state's issue because hey, maybe if the state did, took care of it on their own, then it wouldn't be a need for, ICE or, organizations like that. That's just my point of view. But if it was a state issue, maybe maybe it wouldn't be a need for ICE. Thank you. Thank you, babe. Hey, Paul. Yeah, so if it was a state's issue, maybe we wouldn't see what we seeing, right? Then, does ICE improve public safety in your opinion? Why and why not? You think ICE improve public safety? Some people might. Hey, Nets. So, I'm just hoping some people come in and we can have a discussion. I can hear other people's views. This is a safe space. I'm open to all different type of ideas. This is no judgment zone over here. Everybody deserve a mic. Hey, Mootoon. Everybody have a voice to be respected at that. Hey, Court. Oh yeah. What about you, babe? What you think? What you think? You say yay? Good job, ICE. Do better. Keep up the good work, or get lost, ICE. Or you in the middle, because it don't have to be either or. Because I'm kind of like this. Do what you got to do to get people out of here that don't. Oh, you don't like ICE? I feel you. I understand. You don't have to. You know what I mean? Mass deportation now, Montundi. Okay, that's what's up. Y'all can grab a mic now. I mean, or I can just talk from the comments. It really don't matter. But you're welcome to a mic. But hold on. Oh, there you go. I didn't see you. But yeah, so, babe,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you on that. Like that's why I kind of want to figure out, like, is it a middle ground here? Like, let me see. I got some questions written down. I'm new to this, so I didn't. I wanted to stay on track. So, do you think immigration should be handled on a federal or state level? Do you think if the state handled it, it would be a little different?
I mean, I think that states are overwhelmed with what they have going on, but like I would prefer for it to be done like by state or yeah, rather than federal government. I mean, unless it's like something that has to do like with like I think that like the basic type of immigration that we're talking about where like people come in with their green cards and then petition for their citizenship and
Mm-hmm.
then have to wait like upwards of like 25, 30 years to try to get their citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
Um that in between time from when you're petitioned for and when your green card expired, that's what an illegal status is. And so then people will go that many years with being considered illegal, even though that is like our process. I would hope that if it was smaller, like with states, then it wouldn't take so long, but really, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, why do you think, like you said, it's like a 20-year wait time here?
Yeah, a lot of people are waiting upwards of like 20 to 30 years to get their citizenship. So during that time when you're petitioning and your green card has expired, that's when you're considered illegal. That's not counting like DACA or like the asylum process is faster, but you're more likely to be denied.
Wait the
And
final.
if you are denied, then you are supposed to be deported like immediately. So most people don't go that route for asylum.
Okay, so why you think they skip other countries? Like you don't think it? Do you think? Well, I don't know because you might not think this at all. But why do you think people only choose this country, especially with such a long wait time? And I don't know. Is other are other countries? Do they have stricter laws or something?
No, I think that a lot of the people who are coming from countries that have been destabilized by the
Mm.
United States. So
Mm-hmm.
then, like when you live somewhere and you are essentially like,
Hey, Rambo.
you're having to give up like your food and your resources and stuff, and you see that all of it is being sent to the United States, then you tend to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go where all of my stuff is going.
Right.
And there's also like American exceptionalism too, because a lot of propaganda is pushed into particularly like South American countries
Right. Mm-hmm.
to make people think that you can come to the United States and have a life that we know as United States people that is not actually happening.
Okay. So, do you think? I have a question for you. Do you? How about this? I don't know how you feel about this, but should ICE? Well, should the immigration enforcement only focus on like criminals, the violent offenders?
If ICE did that, would I support them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would support them more.
Well, that's a middle ground. Okay. And that's interesting. Because on one hand, I totally I support that too. But wouldn't it take for them to actually have to commit a crime then to even be, enforced upon? And then it'd be kind of too late, right?
Because they had already committed a crime.
Right.
I mean, I don't particularly believe in our judicial system in the first
Mm-hmm.
place, because I think that the way that um, the United States treats its citizens already is very unjust and ugly. Um, so, like, even me trying to say that, like, I think that them committing a crime would and them being sent back, um, like, that's even hard for me to, like,
Yeah. Concede upon. How about should there be limits on where and how ICE conduct this arrest?
well, yeah, I think there definitely should be limits. Like the stuff that they're doing right now is like all the way crazy.
They saying you can grab a mic, Montum. He says these people are overstaying their school and work visa. Bay did mention that it takes. Didn't you say the visa only stays valid for like 10 years, but it take like 20 years?
Yeah, it depends on when you how you petition for your visa. So you can when you're petitioning for your visa and you're asking, most people ask their family member to petition for their visa with them. And that's when that's when your visa ends up being overstayed. And but in between that limbo process, you're not like that's part of the process is being considered illegal.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then what? In those 10 years, you're suggesting, that they stay past their time if it took 20 years. I mean, do you think people when they
Well,
choose to
you
immigrate,
have sorry, you have to. That's the process. So if in those years you go back or you like no longer stay in the United States, you can't do that over there and be petitioning for your citizenship. You have to still be living in the United States.
So what do they? So what is the person supposed to do after once the 10 year mark? They can't reapply to get it extended. You know
No,
what I mean?
they're in the application process.
Mm-hmm.
So like the process is to be illegal. Like right now, because the wait time is so long, the process is to be illegal for a decent amount of time.
But once that green card or the work visa becomes invalid, then wouldn't that make them not supposed illegal at that point or no?
You are considered illegal, but you are in the process, so then you're not like deported. That's why people go to like their court hearings
Oh,
or
okay.
their meetings and stuff. You know how they were talking about like, oh, well, people are getting set up while they're going to their court meetings and
Yeah.
they're abiding by the rules of
Hey,
their
Angel.
immigration stuff. Yeah, that's because that's part of the process. And you can
Okay.
still work and go to school and do stuff. You just are in the process of um becoming a citizen.
So basically, it's up to. So basically, they have no protection once that visa expires. They just here on the whim, basically, right?
Yeah, and hoping that you're but like if a family member does petition for your citizenship, it's very likely that you will be accepted. It
Mm-hmm.
just it just takes a long time for them to process your stuff.
Okay, so you support, I mean, no, you don't support ICE. So let me ask you, what alternative system would you replace it with?
Um for deporting who? For deporting people. Well, because I don't really believe in like deportation like that.
So you believe in open borders?
Mm, I mean, I think that the system that Europe has is pretty decent.
And what does that look like? Can you tell me a little bit?
They have a system where like you have a passport and like just say Spain for instance. If you have a Spanish passport, then you're
Hey,
able to
Duncan.
go, huh?
Oh, I was just speaking to the people coming in the room. I'm listening though. Hey, Block Party. What did you say? I'm sorry, babe. You said
Oh,
they have a system.
if you have a passport that's within the UN or like I was just using Spain as an example, you have a Spanish passport, then you're able to travel all throughout Europe.
Okay.
Um and it doesn't like give you limitations. You can live there, work
No
there.
comment.
Um
Stay out the way. I'm listening. I'm just speaking to people slowly, but I'm listening to you.
oh, and I think that that is a better system.
Okay, hold on. We got some people. Somebody want to come up. Matambi, you think it's a better system? Okay. So, what other places would they be able to like as far as the Americas go? So, are you saying maybe say Mexico? Someone can get a passport and they can travel from Mexico to the United States to can not. You don't need a passport for Canada. So that's really all I can think about. I don't know. Or would you attach like how? What would that look like, babe? You know what I mean?
I think like the Caribbean islands. Um,
Yeah, the Caribbean is near us.
yeah, I think the Caribbean islands, a lot of the well, I mean all of the Pacific islands, Guam, um, most of Central and South America.
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought. We're gonna let Mutum speak.
Hey, how you doing, love?
Hey Mutum, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
good. Good to see you doing panels.
I know I'm new. I'm trying. Let me read this to y'all since I got y'all here. So the question is, do you support ICE and wait a minute, do you support ICE in its current wait a minute, I'm sorry. Do you support ICE as it is currently operating, oppose it, or think it needs reform?
Now, me myself, I support it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I support it. I support ICE
And why?
because it's a lot of people that came through the border.
Hey, Mom.
They came through and they are unvetted, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them coming here. They're doing all kinds of third world crimes, and I think it's a problem for our people.
Okay, so what do you think ICE's primary role is in this country?
Just rounding these people up and getting them up out of here.
Okay.
They gotta go.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What reforms would you support? Do you think they're doing everything perfect? Is there anything maybe you think they can do a little different?
I think that they should be sending a lot more people, deporting a lot more people. That's what I think. I think they're not deporting enough people.
Hey BC, hey Rufus. You don't think they deporting enough people, eh? Okay. So yeah. I'm on live, so hurry up with your question. Just one moment, y'all.
How many money on the card?
Mute your mic while you
How do you do that? How
just
do I?
press your microphone.
Okay, let me see. Oh, here.
So Bay, do you come from an immigrant background, Bay?
No, I don't.
Okay. What's your ethnicity?
My ethnicity is Native American.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Dad, that there's chicken in the oven. Go to bed.
Do you come from an immigrant background?
Go to bed.
I don't. I'm an American.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
For how long?
Rufus. So let me ask y'all. Let me see. So let me ask you. What does a fair immigration system look like to you? Oh, here you go.
You asking me or you asking?
I'm asking both of y'all. You can go first since it was your turn. What does a fair immigration system look like to you?
It looked like what they doing now. I just wish that they would do a lot more.
Okay.
I think it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Thank you, baby. Yeah. Hey, mine. Keep your mom. Okay, so let me ask you this. What impact do you think ICE operations have on families and communities?
I think on illegal families and communities, it's a devastating effect, but for Americans, it's great.
Go ahead, babe. You wanted to say something?
Hmm?
Want
Did
to
you ask
say
me
something?
something?
Nope.
Oh, what did I
I
think
thought you
that
wanted to.
ICE?
Go ahead.
Oh, ICE's impact on the community. Well, in Minnesota, where I live, it got pretty ugly over here for all people, not just the people that they were threatening to deport. There was an African American family who was like, I don't know what words to use.
Were
Um,
they detained?
no, their child had to go to the hospital because they threw um like those irritating agents of whatever kind into their car. It
So
was
hold
like
on, wait. So what was the purpose of them doing that?
so so what was going on was that there was something going on a couple of houses down, and there was like all kind there the people weren't leaving their house or whatever, so then the ICE agent started like bringing more people into onto the block. And the African American family, they were, I think they had like 3 kids, very young kids. Their baby was
Well,
like 6 months.
Wait a minute,
how,
They
Matumba.
asked,
Wait a minute, Matumba. Hold on. Wait a
huh?
minute. Go ahead, finish, babe. Just let her land real quick, and I want to ask her something. Then you can
Oh,
go.
they asked the ICE agents if they could leave because it was like getting very dangerous with all the stuff that was going on, and the ICE agents told them yeah they can leave, but when they went to leave they threw flashbangs underneath their car and then threw tear gas into their car where their kids were, and it like the mom was talking about how she was trying to turn around and get her baby out of the car seat, but she passed out before she was able to get him out. And it was like this big thing. They had to go to the hospital and the because after they pulled all the kids out of the car, a couple of them weren't breathing. And
Y'all
so and that
tap the
was like
screen. Tap the screen for me. Repost. Gift the host in the panel if possible. So when you say African American, what type of African American?
like African American,
Like a black
black African.
American, descended of slave in America, in this country here?
Yeah.
Huh? You said
Mhm.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a new wait a minute, hold on, Matumba. I got you.
I
We got
think
a new
tap the
speaker.
screen.
Yeah, tap the screen, y'all. We got a new speaker up here. We got KD1. KD1, what's up? What's up? Thank you so much. I love what you do. Thank you for coming to my space. You got the mic.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Love's World.
So the
Just like
question is, just let me ask you this question. Do you support
uh,
ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs reform?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I support ICE, but I support the concept of what they're doing. Because I just feel like for me to say that I support ICE, I don't know, it kind of gives me like fan club vibes. Like I got the T-shirt and the hat. Like it's not that deep for me. But no, like do I want ICE to keep on doing what they're doing as far as illegal immigration goes, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So there is a part that's in it for me as a foundational Black American, yeah. As far as reform goes, I think and this honestly is kind of unrealistic, but as far as reform goes, it should be a better vetting process, because the only thing that I keep my eyebrow raised for is because we don't really talk about this much, because the ICE agency in and of itself isn't um isn't a problem for foundational Black Americans, but some of our open enemies are in the ranks of ICE, like in terms of uh white supremacists, you know what I'm saying, like card carrying white supremacists from the respective hate groups, whether it be the triple K, you know what I'm saying, the neo Yazis, et cetera, et cetera. Some of them is up in them ranks, but at the same time, they are in the ranks of the regular police. You know what I'm saying? So that it's not that it's located the same entities, the same characters, just being just with new targets, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? We they targets with when the pole is in front of the ice. You know what I'm saying? But you got illegal immigrants dealing with that same kind of energy. Um,
Okay, so let me ask you this, KD1. What do you
mhm.
think ICE primary role should be in the United States?
um, what it says its description is now, as far as like get rid of illegal. Let me not say get rid of, but deporting illegal immigrants, and another part that's not often talked about is part of ICE's job is also to find missing children too.
Mm,
You
mm.
know, so that's a part of it. But I mean, I wouldn't change too much about the job description or the mission of ICE. Like I said, my only thing that I keep my eyes squinted a little bit for is the members of the previously mentioned groups being within the ranks of ICE.
Okay, so let me ask you then. So, do you think ICE improves public safety?
Um, that's kind of polarizing. Because I mean, I don't live in Minnesota, but from what I see from the footage of Minnesota, you know, their presence kind of excites a lot of people to begin protesting and whatnot. Like, you know, like people get to throwing dildos and stuff. Like, and I'm not making a joke when I see that. They were literally out there throwing dildos at police and ICE agents. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely gonna change public safety for me if they get to doing that. If I'm downtown trying to mind my business and I'm walking past a protest and somebody hit me in the face with a with a dildo by accident,
A black
it's gonna be
one.
dangerous. It's gonna be dangerous for everybody.
Okay. All right, we got a new speaker up. We got BT. Do you support ICE? And if you do, as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs some type of reform?
Hey, peace and reparations to the room.
Hey, BT.
Hey, thank you for creating the space,
Oh, you
and thank you
welcome.
for your moderators helping you, and thank you to the panel for participating. Most importantly, thank you to the audience for listening, because without them, we'd just be up here talking to ourselves.
Right.
I absolutely, wholeheartedly do support ICE. Now, that being said, I ain't no fanboy, so I ain't finna just act like I agree with everything they doing at the same time. But the premise, what it's rooted in, I think we need it even more. I just saw 2 cases earlier today. I reposted where it was a lady who got ran over in Savannah by an illegal who didn't have a license, and he was running from the police. And he done ran this woman over. She was an educator and a doctor, and she was impactful in her community, and she was a Black American, and he unalived that woman. And he's an illegal. That's one. Another one I saw today was one of them raped a little girl. And I was for ICE against illegals, even without the crime. The crime wasn't even what got me. It was the numbers for me. It's the numbers for me. But seeing they doing crime as well, like, shawty, y'all got to go. Y'all have to go. So as much as y'all may feel, try to we are the world and all lives matter this thing, Black people, I need you to get on board with other people being uncomfortable, because we've been uncomfortable this whole time we've been here, and folks are now feeling it. And we have to support ICE even through the BS, because they are doing the Lord's work, and this is going to help our kids and grandkids at the end of the day, because it is too many. It's just too many. Thank you.
Gotta mute your mic, love.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can
Oh,
hear
okay,
you.
okay. Y'all know I'm new to this, so bear with me. I'm still learning the app. This is actually my mother, y'all, this Niecy Fly. So, Mom, can you unmute your mic? Let me ask you the questions too, since she's the elder. Let's see with her perspective. Let me read you the question. Do you support ICE as it currently operates? Do you oppose it? That means you don't agree, or do you think it needs reform? You got it? Can you come off mic? Okay, we gonna
Which one you talking to?
I'm talking to Niecy Fly.
Nisi, can you hear her? Oh yeah, I think she's in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's my mother, y'all, too. So
Okay.
Okay, look, y'all.
Oh,
So we
Nisi
go
is
back.
your mama?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Wow.
give an elder perspective. So she was working it good last night. So maybe she's doing something right now. So we're gonna give the mic to Mutunda. Mutunda, you got something to say? We'll do an open panel for a bit if y'all got
Oh hell
anything.
no, you finna let this African talk?
He an African?
Do
That's
not
an African name.
do
But
not
I don't
disrespect
think
me,
he African.
BT.
I was just
But
playing.
let me
No, I was just
hold on.
playing.
Let me tell y'all something. Like
No, I was
we
just playing, love. I was just
yeah, we
playing.
can
That's my
hear you.
partner.
But let
I
me
was just
say
playing.
this though. Let me say
Yeah,
this.
I
It
know
is
BT.
Go ahead, I'll be back.
okay, hold on, y'all. Let me tell you, here I wanna have I want to create a space with opposing opinions, and everybody is welcome, hopefully we all can respect each other. Go ahead, Matumba.
Me too. I think we
Yeah,
should.
B.
I don't approve of y'all like being mean to people who aren't our lineage. Let them talk and then get their shit off, then be mean. But I was
Yeah.
just joking with him because I
Yeah,
know him.
Oh, you did?
BT was
Oh.
joking. We know each other.
Hey, because I know we follow each other, Matum, but when I saw you, I was like, what the, let's see how this goes. So I was with him. Okay, go ahead. Y'all want to
Oh,
do an open panel for a minute? I
yeah,
do
just
have
let
some
it be
more
open.
questions.
Yeah, I don't really have
Yeah,
nothing particular
for
to
a
say right
second.
now.
I'm gonna mute up. So, babe, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I'm mute up, let me ask you this. So what reforms? So I believe she told me that she believes in like the open border concept or something like the UK concept where you can travel freely from neighboring countries. So is that right, babe?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that something that maybe y'all would be open to, Matumba?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not open to that.
KD, you open to that?
Down for it.
You
You want
for
to open panel?
Wait, what are y'all doing? I missed it.
you want to hear the question again, KD one, or you got it?
Yeah, sorry, rewind. My bad.
Okay. Bay here, right under you, she has the opinion of she would like to see maybe like the UK has, where you can get a passport in Spain, but you can travel to the surrounding countries. Is that something you would be open to supporting, especially since it's a up to 20-year wait to get visas or green cards here in this country?
Wait.
Understand what you're asking.
So
So,
what?
Do
So
you, KD?
yeah,
so
I'm trying to see. So if we were to apply that here in the Western Hemisphere,
right.
what would be our Spain that
So
would
I guess
avail
it would be
travel?
like Mexico, the Caribbean. She said the Pacific Islands, and it's under my thought that she meant to have like anybody can come here from those countries freely.
Yeah, no,
No,
no, no.
What? Why would she?
BT,
Why would she even bring that up? What the heck does that even?
because they believes in open borders, basically.
Oh no! Is she Black American?
She's Native American. Now we're
Eh,
gonna hear her out. I'm
Native
sure.
American from where?
A good question.
From the United States.
Bay, where in the United States?
Oh, Arizona.
Oh, okay, Meso. Um, Mesoamerican. So, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, especially considering how
Hey,
immigration
Psycho.
has literally wiped you all out. So, I want to hear your thoughts. Go ahead, please.
I think that open borders with um like how Europe has it where you can go in between European countries, that we should also have that within the Americas, especially since a lot of our food, well, like all of our food comes from South America. I think that it would make it like it would bring down our cost of food. Our like we could stop buying stuff from China, and if we could travel from cheaper to other places, then we wouldn't be so confined to the United States the way that we are, because it's very expensive for people who live within the United States to travel outside of the country, like right now.
You want me to set something up? Go
So, do y'all think the real issue is ICE, or do y'all think it's the way Congress is handling this whole immigration laws? Like they're going too slow with the whole, getting easier access to citizenship, or is it no, stay home altogether?
Well,
What was the last thing? No, what?
Huh?
What was the last thing you said? No, what?
Or no, stay home, like stay where you at altogether?
In terms of how we moving as Black
No,
Americans?
do you think Congress, is it ICE's fault, or do you think Congress should be implementing easier pathways to citizenship?
Oh, no. No, I think the government, particularly under the Biden administration, made it too easy. With temporary protective status and sanctuary cities and what you call it, DACA programs and all of that. That makes it that like especially that TPS thing. What I'm saying that allows room for abuse because all you got to do is go up there. As an immigrant, all you essentially got to do is go to the embassy and file for refugee status. You know what I'm saying? And just say like, yeah, I need temporary protective status, and that might not even be the case in the specific area where you're coming from. You know.
Okay. So
So
should there be
that
more oversight over ICE? Do you think? The people who got killed. Do you think is that just something that might happen? When you're dealing with ICE and you're dealing with immigrants, some people just going unalive. Or do you think it needs to be more training, more structure? What do y'all think about that? Anybody can answer that.
So first of all, we cannot be acting like immigrants don't work with white supremacy. I think that's the thing. A lot of people who are racist that are white don't like immigrants just because they racist. We are against immigrants for the most part because they harm us. And absolutely it's the government's fault. They absolutely, the United States government set this up and weaponized these people against us. However, we got to fix it. And so we got to hold our government accountable for doing this dumb shit. And at the same time, get these folk up out of here. It's literally no other way. Dr. Claude Anderson told y'all in the 90s when I was a kid, I wish I would have been grown because I would have listened. And it's only going to get worse if y'all keep being nice. So we got to support them. And we can still hold our government accountable. We have to because they owe us, among other things. But what happened was in the government's plan to try to erase and replace us, they started erasing and replace their damn self too. And that's why they scrambling now. So their plan was to like get rid of us so they wouldn't have to pay us reparations so we would never hold them accountable and pass their population. And what happened was their population done got passed. And now this shit is fucking them up too. So that's why it's so funny. Like, right? So it's a conundrum. But black folk, we got to say today for ourselves. Fuck everybody else. I land. Thank you.
Okay, I agree, but I got a question for you, BT. So, what does support of ICE look like to you? How are you supporting ICE?
Well, I think my brother was talking about the dildos and the way that they're protesting. It's funny. I saw that video and I was like, dang, they really need, it's like without us leading a revolt or a cause, everyone's scrambling. And I don't know if y'all seen the TikToks of the white folks asking us to come help and the other races saying they sorry, please, black people help. They don't know what to do. And it shows. So our support is not doing nothing because everyone else is going against them, pulling up and blocking them in. It's people with whistles and they whistling. If they see ICE for the night, they telling them. It's people hiding these folks in their house like the Underground Railroad. So we not doing none of that. And that in itself is support because everybody else is trying to help these folks. And we just going to not do that. We're going to mind our black business and continue to stack, pray, and stay out the way.
Amen to that. So let me do a little quick announcement. Please tap the screen. I have 1,000 rows go, a little something. If y'all can help me out, that'd be great. You can give the panel, that'd be great too. But if you don't do nothing else, please tap the screen for me. Okay, let's go. Nisi Fly, are you available now? Thank you. Are you available now? Okay, I don't think so. So go ahead, KD1. Let me ask you this. What would a fair immigration system
I'm
look
on
like?
now.
Oh, he gone? Okay, let me ask
he
you this.
won't be
Should
long.
immigration enforcement be handled at the state or federal? Do you think the state should be in control of the immigration laws or the federal government?
Maybe the state. I'm not for sure. I'm
Yeah.
not for sure which one I would like to handle that at this time.
So, do you support ICE or do you oppose it?
No, no, I don't support him,
You don't support them?
but no, I don't support ICE. No, no, I'm against ICE. How they, killing people
Oh, you gotta say
and taking
unaliving. You gotta say unaliving.
unaliving,
Hmm.
unaliving. Yeah. Hmm.
So, let me ask you this: Do you think immigration hurts the Black community, or it doesn't affect them at all?
It affects them because they giving what they could give us to them. Actually, we have a lot of
Okay.
homeless here in the U.S.
Okay. So let's go ahead to Rufus. Hey, Rufus, how you doing? You want to come off mic and add to the conversation? Do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs reform?
Good evening, love.
Evening.
Good evening. Nice panel. Thank you for having this conversation. I like the way you're running it. Very organized. I think I do support ICE as it currently stands. I don't feel as though ICE is doing enough. I think that the way to support ICE would be to let Eric Prince go ahead and get his guys together to get rid of illegal immigrants. Eric Prince is the guy who found BlackRock. He made a proposal to the president that for 28 billion, he would deport 1 million illegals a month or something like that. And so, for those who don't know, BlackRock was our mercenary arm in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, and so on. He's very capable of doing it. He's currently in Haiti, helping to clean up the mess over there, but we need him here. But I think that I do support them 100%. I think that the destabilizing what looks to be like chaos and destabilizing and destabilization or whatever is basically lawless people attacking law enforcement, federal law enforcement, going after federal law enforcement. I know that if that was our community doing those types of things, throwing ice water bottles at them and breaking up their property, their vehicles, and this type stuff that they're doing, man, so many of us would have been unalived by now, you know. And I resent that part of it, that these people are able to do that without any type of real repercussions.
Well, me too.
Yeah,
Okay, so let me ask you this, Rufus. What do you think ICE's primary role should be in the United States?
I think their primary role should be inter- immigration enforcement and you know, yeah, immigration enforcement. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and then let me ask you this: how should due process be protected during enforcement arrests?
Yes, due process. Once you, this is my opinion. I think that like the the right side of the aisle, or whatever the Democrat side of the aisle, left side, whatever
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
I think left side, yes. I think that they're trying to make due process into something that the Constitution didn't really say that it is. Like, I don't recall in the Constitution where it says that you got to go through all these courts and everything, and that's due process. I think that due process can be that once an authorized agency has, addressed you, then that can be due process. So, in other words, if immigration enforcement has addressed you and found that you are illegal and they decide to deport you, that's due process, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bay, how do you feel about what do you think about the opinion of a lot of Black Americans who would say, a lot of immigrants, or people not from this country, they come over here with anti-Black racism. They come over here with it, and they have a negative opinion of the Black American. How, I understand your views on, the open border situation, or you just probably feel like people need an opportunity. I understand that. But on the flip side, if a people who's been in a country, like native people, from wherever country they coming from, if they feel in mass that immigration is negatively harming them, what would you say to those people?
So I think that so that's why I particularly brought up like the Caribbean islands, because a decent portion of the people who are being deported and like violently deported are Haitian. And I don't disagree that a lot of immigrants that come here do uphold white supremacy. But I think that that's because of the lack of exposure to different groups of people. And when people come here, like buying into American exceptionalism and thinking that they need to participate in white supremacy in order to get ahead in the system that's here, because it is like a white supremacist hierarchy here, that's a lot of the problem. But I don't think that just keeping people out is going to change any of that. Like, I think that that's going to exist regardless. But when Rufus and like other people who were talking about the way that Minnesota is dealing with ICE and stuff, the majority of like the protests and the stuff that's happening here is because we already have a very ugly relationship with our law enforcement system that's here. Like with the George Floyd stuff that was happening, that was because 5 African American men had been unalived by the police within like a span of like 3 to 5 years, and that's where like a lot of the animosity that we already have with them is coming from. And so then when people are saying stuff like, oh well, they're I forgot what Rufus said, that we're like being unlawless and like rebelling for what seems like no reason. It's because we are trying to address the education to prison pipeline that is like negatively affecting like the African American community and other communities that are here.
Okay, babe. I don't know if you know that it's a segment of us who prefer Black American. It is some people, and I believe a small portion that's actually Black Americans. They don't mind being called African Americans, but if you don't mind, I'm a Black American. Let me see. Let me ask Rufus one more question. Rufus, how do you think we balance border security and human rights? Did I ask you that already? Because I would like to know your opinion.
No, I don't believe you did.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think that it's a human right to be able to cross a border, period. I think that here in America, the only people whose human rights are being violated are Black Americans, specifically and only, like as a group. Everybody else comes here and get welfare and housing and vehicles and contracts, and they get propped up. But Black Americans are the only ones whose human rights are constantly being violated. And we are American citizens.
Right. Okay, anybody can grab a mic too. Just accept, this is an open conversation for everybody. You're absolutely right. I do feel like I'm in agreement with you. I feel like, and that goes for white Americans too. Now, we us first, but I definitely feel like Americans, period, as a whole, immigration has just, negatively affected this country. However, I don't want to see people get unalive, but I feel like too, Bay, this go for Bay too, and thank you so much for being here. We all have our own opinions, and we can feel the way everybody's opinion. Well, their feelings, in my opinion, is valid. We all have a right to them. I feel like immigration as a whole is just a big negative. First of all, like I mentioned too, the anti-Black racism that exists when these people come here. I don't think a lot of people educate themselves. I think, in my opinion, this might sound a little crazy, but in my opinion, I think anybody who's oh, okay, I thought that was somebody. Anybody who wants to come to this country, if I was in power, they would have to take a year-long Black history lesson and from a Black American. You know what I mean? Because I think some of these people come here not knowing. I don't believe, they want to be close to power or, close to whiteness. Same thing to me. I don't think that's an excuse for the mistreatment that, they come here. And then you mentioned Haitians. Lately we've been running into anti-Black American melanated people. You know what I mean? And they can just walk amongst us. And I think that's really dangerous. How do you feel about that statement, Bae?
About immigrants, well, like, it
The,
is a
the
human rights
melanated
issue.
ones, the melanated ones who come here. I don't know if you know or not, but the Somalis a couple of years ago, they had a slave auction for Black Americans on an app called Clubhouse. And lately here, we've been called slaves, it seemed like every day, by melanated immigrants. Not saying all, but definitely one too many for me. Now, how do you think one would react to these melanated immigrants who need a country to go to, but they come here with these anti-Black American, because they're melanated, so anti-Black American attitudes, and can't really, I guess they just can't seem to pull themselves together enough to want to deal with us as a group and unite with us. Well, with Black Americans, not us. I am one, but I don't want to speak I want to leave that separate. I don't want to add myself to it because this is my panel and I'm here to be open and honest. But how would one approach something like that? Do you think anything positive can come to a people that's not white, with tons of people entering their country, with these views and ideals about them as a people?
I mean, I think that the only, really, I think that the only way to address it would be, for exposure to other groups of people. But I mean, I totally get that it's something that's very uncomfortable, because it's also uncomfortable for me in my community when people say oh, well, we want to learn about who Native American people are and stuff, and really they just come with their prejudices and all that stuff, and it is harmful to the community.
So do you live on the reservation?
No, I live in the city. I live in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you did say that. I was just, when I hear Native, I always want to talk to a Native, but that's a whole nother panel. I got so many questions. But yeah, okay. All right. So anybody want to grab a mic? Tonight we are discussing What should be done about ICE? Do you support them or do you oppose them? I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this topic. And then I would like to know, like, the place and time. So to me, I'm gonna be honest here. To me, it really doesn't matter to me where they pick up illegal immigrants. And oh, Rufus, do you agree that I should only be focused on the illegal criminals? I know some might say they're criminals, once they cross the border illegally or the day after their visa expires. Because it was explained to me the visa normally lasts like 10 years, but it take like 20 years to even get anything done as far as citizenship or something like that. What do you think, the process should be for the people who's been here? They waited 10 years, they still going back and forth to court. Should they be left alone or should they be met at court
Well,
and taken away?
if they should either get an extension or they should have work the process from wherever they came from.
What if
I'm
they
in.
don't have any family to help them? Just say like a woman came over here from Mexico by herself. She been working at this hotel. She been here 10 years. Now she's still going to court. Her visa has expired. She wants to stay here. She's still working. But her time is up. Sorry. But her time is up. In that situation, how would you handle it the same way, with ICE meeting you at court, like, okay, this is the next day, your stuff expired, let's go, lady.
Maybe not next day. I'd probably give her a week, but
A week.
I would give her some time to self deport.
Okay.
You know, if she doesn't want to self deport, then yeah, ICE needs to help her out. But yeah, people are abusing our system through loopholes, and when we provide them with loopholes to hang around, stay around, that's what they're going to abuse. And so, me personally, I'm not in favor of any of that, visas or, bringing family members or any of that type stuff. Until the Black Americans are made whole, we shouldn't be accepting one refugee, one visa, one nothing. We shouldn't be accepting anybody until Black Americans are put in their rightful place. There's plenty of work that Black Americans have been disenfranchised from, plenty of opportunities and whatnot that Black Americans can feel to continue building this country. So until we have every Black American that wants to work working and every Black American that wants a good education, in school and doing all that their type of stuff, then we shouldn't be accepting one person into this country. This country has a debt to Black America, and that should be priority number one. And that debt needs to be filled before we start trying to, attend to other people, in my opinion.
Numero uno. I hear that, y'all. Let's get to my next goal of 5K. If y'all don't mind, can y'all tap it up for me? Now, babe, as far as it's women that come to this country as well. How would you agree that they shouldn't get pregnant until they get citizenship? How do you feel about that? What do you think? Do you think people who's not a total citizen or whatever, they didn't do their citizenship, they're not all the way legal yet, they still in the process, do you think they should be able to have a baby on this soil, give birth here? And do you
Well, I
think,
don't know.
and do,
Oh, go ahead.
it's the second part, and then if they do give birth, do you think that child should be a U.S. citizen?
So yeah, I do think that. And I don't know how we would stop people from giving birth. Um, like once they're already here, and And yeah, I do think that once a child is born here, that birthright citizenship is okay. Um, and like, while I think that like what Rufus is talking about is like admirable, and I think that like what is it called? His like dedication to his people, I think is really cool. But there are other groups of people who have the same plights and arguments with the United States. While a lot of the people who are here are leaving their countries because of the destabilization that the United States commits in the countries that they are from, and that's how they end up here. Like they're essentially saying the same things, where they would say like, "Oh, well, if we could get the United States out of their country and keeping the United States from destabilizing them, they would be able to go home."
So, babe, I got a little backup question. So, on the flip side of that coin, you think it's no way possible in a million years that these, like that other people who leave their country, there's no way they can stay and fight for their country and make it better? Or that's just
For
impossible?
in the countries that they're in,
Yeah, that they leaving. Is it possible at all for them to stay and fight and maybe change laws, do something, I don't know, do something to make their countries better? Or do you think it's no way that can ever happen?
I don't see it happening anytime soon. Like we can't do it here. So then expecting another country to do it, I like I can't put that on somebody else when we can't do it either.
So let me ask you this. Okay. So you a Native American living in Minneapolis. Um, so you probably interact with immigrants on a regular basis. Or maybe you know
Um,
some. Do you have any friends that's going through this situation here where ICE is affecting their life or their mental health because they worried about ICE?
oh yeah, I've encountered people.
You have? Okay. So see, this is another thing I don't think people understand. It's 50 states, right? It's a segment of us like me. I'm from Detroit. Now I live in Central Florida. Whole contrast. Detroit is basically all black. It's basically 80, 90% black Americans, okay? And then now I live in Central Florida, okay, where I'm surrounded by people from other countries. But see, it's a whole segment of this country that has no immigrant friends. They don't know any not immigrants, but people from other countries. They don't know any. So to them, it looks like it's an invasion. What's going on with my country? That's like people from New York. People. It's certain states where they have constant contact with people from other countries, but then the majority of our states here in this country, you don't have to even see a person from another country. So you see what the dilemma is here? Everyone, I just don't see everyone, adopting that idea. However, I do believe this is a great nation, despite of what the Black American went through on here on this land, and we did not run. I mean, we did not leave and go anywhere else. So I'm just saying, to me, it seems like, you can't really change anything in your country if you're leaving your country.
I think that this so like while I agree,
Hmm.
right, there was some African American or Black American people who did leave, and I don't really. I mean, the stuff that happened in Liberia, I don't think that that was Black American people's fault, like at all. I think that white people followed them and like destabilized that country. Um, but other than that, when people are coming, it is because there is like the type of destabilization that the United States does is I would say that it's very comparable to African American people or Black American people. With like the polluting of the water, creating slavery, um, like they take over the lands and then enslave the people on their own lands and take their resources so that they can't have food or anything else. And so, I mean, if we wanted everywhere to turn into the United States, like, I don't see why we wouldn't just open the borders. Like, everywhere's gonna, like, is functioning like the United States anyways. Then they could go home.
Wait a minute. Did you just say we might as well open the borders?
Yeah, if those countries are already functioning like the United States and we're sending our country or we are over there and we are trying to create like the United States everywhere, like why wouldn't it just be all one? I mean, I think it's all ran by the same people anyways.
So I would ask you this, Bay. How do you think that would affect the Black American when we already know that a lot of people, have anti-Black American views? If we opened our border and everybody is going to run here, and then what would you suggest Black Americans do?
I think that if we open the borders, that it would create more opportunity for for Black American people to be able to travel and go and do things in other countries and see other groups of people. I think that the United States is like I think it kind of sucks here, and that everywhere you go is like filled with a lot of like white supremacy and things that we don't like. We should. I wish that we would be able to escape sometimes.
You don't think Black Americans travel, Bay?
No, I'm saying it would create more opportunity to be able to travel.
Um,
And I would want it to cost less because I know that it's extremely expensive.
yeah. Yeah, it could be expensive. Okay, so we have a new guest. Kate, unmute your mic. I have a question.
Hello, how are
Hi,
you?
Kate.
How
How
are
you
you?
doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thank
That's
you.
good. That's good. Thanks for stopping by my live. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. Do you support
Hey,
ICE?
love, I
Uh-huh.
apologize for interrupting you. I have to go, but this is
Okay.
wonderful. I like the way you're doing this. Please just do more.
Okay,
But
I
I have to
will.
go. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Have a good night, Rufus. Okay,
Good night,
Kate.
Rufus.
Okay, Kate. Do
Hello.
you you got it? Okay. So, Kate, do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I think like 90% I support ICE because yeah, I mean they're reinforcing the border. I would do it differently though,
Mhm.
honestly, but I mean I think ICE is doing just fine. The protest to me doesn't really make sense, but yeah, I would do it differently though.
Like what? Tell me more.
Yeah, so ICE, like sometimes they are breaking the law to get the illegal immigrants, which is you can't do that, but you know they are doing their job, and I think we should protect our law enforcement.
So, do you consider? Okay, yeah. So, I guess
Because I've seen some stories, right, where they would just illegally go into somebody's home just to deport them, which you can't do that.
okay. So, so say if they don't want to come out of the house, Kate, how would you suggest that
Yeah,
they?
just get a warrant.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this. What do you think ICE's primary role should be in the United States?
Deport all illegal undocumented immigrants
Okay.
and reinforce the border too.
So you don't believe in open borders, I'm
No,
assuming.
no.
Okay.
I mean, what country would it be if there's open borders, right?
Right, right. So let me ask you this. I don't know if you know this. Are you a Caucasian, Kate?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I want to, because I'm going to ask you, I'm going to tell you something actually, and I just want to know, well, I don't even need to know what you is. I'm going to tell you this though. I don't know if you realize it or not, but a lot of different immigrant groups, they come over here with anti-black American, biases, or some, I can even say, uh, xenophobia or racism, and that goes for melanated and non-melanated immigrants. So how do you think that affects the Black American?
Yeah, I mean, I think, is this your opinion or is this like a fact?
Well, I'm a Black American.
Yeah,
Let me
no, yeah.
see. Yeah, let me see. Let's see if it's any Black Americans in my comments. Drop a one if you believe that immigrants come to this country, a lot of them, with anti-Black biases or racism.
I mean, everyone's personal experience is different, you know, so we
So,
can't
Kate,
base off somebody's experience as a whole.
well, not as a whole, but in mass. Just like, people might sprue something like, per capita's on black and black crime. Now, we all know that isn't as a whole, but, that's not, as a whole, but you still label that a group of people that way. So, but I'm here to tell you that, it is frequent, and lately, since we haven't been really getting out there to support ICE for one reason or another, online especially, it's getting worse every day. So say if that is true, and you know it to be true for a fact, how? Because you're an American, right?
Yes.
Okay. How would you expect the Black American to handle a situation like that? Because as you know, I'm a Black American, and we are
Yeah.
known to stand with other groups, other marginalized groups. We're known to protest. We're known to fight for people's rights. But as you can see, you don't see a lot of Black Americans out there, do you, Kate?
Not from where I'm from. Actually do see a lot of Black Americans.
Oh, really? Out there
Yeah.
protesting?
Protesting ICE. Yeah,
Oh, really? What state you from?
from California,
Oh, okay.
South
Okay.
Crenshaw.
Oh, really? Wow.
Hmm.
They don't show that on TV. I have to talk to some of my Black Americans from California. I haven't heard them
I
saying
mean,
they were
it's just
out
a
there.
whole lot of people protesting. You know, like every minority.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
yeah. What are your stance, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Did you
my,
vote?
oh yeah, I said it earlier, and I'll say it right now. I don't believe in open borders. I believe you can't be pro-immigration and pro black at the same time, because like I just told you,
So
it
you think?
it negatively affects the Black American community, in my opinion. As far as jobs, as far as the anti-Black encounters and biases that we have to deal with, on top of everything else the Black American has to deal with in this country. I just don't feel like it benefits us.
I see. I see. I mean, with all due respect, I just think this is your opinion, and it's just everyone's experience is different. You know,
But you
like
you said it. What's my opinion, Kate? Is my opinion
your
that
opinion on immigrants being anti-black. I just
okay?
disagree.
Oh, okay.
I just
Well,
think
I
they're
hear
minding their
you.
own business. You know.
I hear you. So, okay, I'm not trying to be combative or anything like that, but would you call a melanated immigrant having a slave auction for Black Americans on a social media app? How would you? I mean, don't you think that's pretty? That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's pretty
messed up.
tragic. You know, but I've never seen that happen. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest with you.
But you don't believe in open borders, so we agree there, right?
Yeah, I think we need a border.
Oh, I agree. So we have found some common ground. There we have it. Let's see. Let's go to Gino. Hey, Gino, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good tonight. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming to the live. Thank you so much. So, do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I agree with Kate, and I think the border should be enforced. I think what ICE is doing isn't wrong because we can't just let everyone into our country, you know?
Okay, so do you believe that our country is unstabilizing some of these other countries?
I wouldn't. Like, could you elaborate? Like, give me an example?
Well, Babe, can you give them an example?
So like we destabilized Venezuela, and that's what brought a lot of the Venezuelan immigrants here. We're currently destabilizing Cuba, Puerto Rico, Haiti. No.
So, in what way he wants to know, like, what do you know that we are doing to these countries to, that we're doing so bad that they have to flee from, let's say, Africa all the way to the United States of America? What would be so horrible that we doing to these countries? Someone would travel across the globe to get here to be a black person or a melanated person here in this country when we have a racial construct in this country. So when people tell me, this is just my opinion, I'm sorry, Gino, but when people tell me like we're destabilizing other people's country, and then I might ask the question and that, well, why would you want to come to the place that's unstabilizing you or, making you flee and leave your family or
Yeah,
have
yeah,
harmed
I
some of
agree with
your
that.
family? Why come to the people?
Exactly.
Because we push propaganda into those countries as we're destabilizing them, that encourages people to come here, to like with the what is it with the American exceptionalism, um, and the idea of that everyone here is free and like people have an idea that there's no poverty here and that everyone can build off of their own
Well, I think the
accord.
opportunities here are way better than most other countries. Like, is that
I
wrong though?
I think that they're here because we're destabilizing a lot of those countries.
Why though? Why do you know they're not just destabilizing themselves though? Like,
So
what
we
is the
del-
evidence that we are the ones destabilizing them?
so we deliberately destabilized Venezuela because they found oil and then they wanted to trade their own oil. The United States said no, that they wanted the oil at a very like discounted rate. And when Venezuela said we do not want to do that, the United States cut them off from all resources and wouldn't allow resources into their country. Also took them off of the dollar, and that completely destabilized their country. Right now, we're also doing that in Cuba. We have cut off their ports, and we're not allowing any aid from any other countries to make it into Cuba while we're destabilizing them. So, like, and those are things that are actively happening now. Like in Africa, I think that the majority of it is actually done by European countries, and that's why European countries have so much money and they're able to fund the stuff that they have over there, like particularly France. But we did go and destabilize
Actually, I'm looking at the
Liberia.
comments right now. I think what 123 Durin is saying is, I completely agree with that. He said, "So how come you come to the United States? You work to pay taxes to destabilize your own country? Like, I just don't see how that would make sense."
Because people have to feed their families and take care of their families. So, like,
Okay,
if
but
you're
like, why the U.S. if the U.S.
Wait a
is the
minute,
one
wait a minute.
attacking your country?
Let her answer, Gino. I got you. Let her answer. I want to hear her full answer. Thank you, Gino. I got you though. Go ahead,
so
baby.
when we So when we go into those countries, we also bring our the propaganda of that everyone in the United States is doing well, and that if you move to the United States, you will also do well. That's where the it was like I think it was like 10 years ago, the caravan that came here, they were coming from Central American countries, and they were not stopping in other Central American countries to create homes. They were deliberately coming to the United States, and that was directly because of propaganda that was pushed to those countries to come here. We also endorse people coming from these countries because they are actively the slave labor of the United States while they're here.
Okay,
I
Gino.
agree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gino.
Well, I don't really have anything to say right now, but like I just like why wouldn't they go to another country though?
Great question, Gino. So, Kate, let me ask you, should immigration enforcement be handled at a federal or state level? What you think about that, Kate? What's your
Federal for sure.
federal? And why is that?
It's important to get the illegals out of our country and reinforce the border. It shouldn't be up to states and Democrat states, they're gonna want them to stay to rig the votes, We don't want that, right?
Right. But hey, I feel like, state, federal, whatever's working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Are you
I
pro
do.
Trump?
Am I pro Trump? Well, let me answer this. I'm pro who doing something for Black Americans. My vote. I'm not. I don't just. I'm not a party loyalist. So right now, you know what I mean. It's who gonna do something for my
What
people.
did you think about Kamala then?
Oh, I didn't
Do
think
you agree
about
with her?
Kamala.
Do
I
you?
didn't think about Kamala at all.
Mm,
Yeah.
do you
So
think she was a better candidate than Trump?
well, I can tell you, in my opinion, the way it was going, this I don't think the border would be closed right now, and
Exactly.
I wanted the border closed.
So you prioritize the border as well.
Yeah, that was my main thing. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Immigration was my main thing, my main topic. That was what I was focused on.
I have a
And
question.
let me land real quick, and that's what I'm gonna stay focused on. Okay, go ahead, Nisi Fly.
I have a question for Kate.
hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Do you have a problem with what I was going to say threw me off? What is it? I done lost my my question.
Take
Give me
your
a
time.
minute. Reparations. Do you have a problem with Black Americans getting reparations?
No problem. Doesn't affect me. I think you guys should do what's right.
Did that answer your
Okay,
question,
Kate,
Nisi
do you know what
Fly?
that
reparations are?
that was my question.
Perhaps.
Well, this panel tonight is not about reparations, so we're gonna keep the main thing the main thing. So let me ask you this:
Okay.
what would a fair immigration system look like to you? To anybody who want to answer this, we can start with Bay. Bay, what would a fair immigration system look like to you?
I think that like right now, the way that immigration is going is that white people who are immigrating to the United States take first priority, and then other races go down the line until like to Black people being the last. And I don't agree with that. Personally, I think that other races of people besides white should go first.
Okay,
You know,
Gino,
but
I'm gonna
you
get
have
to you,
somebody like
Nisi
at
Fly.
the, you
Yeah.
have somebody at the like the very bottom,
Oh, do I?
like Lionel.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't see them. Lionel, is that his name? I can't see his name, Babe.
Yeah, that's my name.
Oh, hey, Lionel, I didn't see you down there. I apologize. Hi, Lionel.
I thought you want to put me on stage. Okay.
Oh, no, let me move you up a little bit. Hold on, because I couldn't see you. Well, wait, we ain't going to even mess with nothing because I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, Lionel, let me ask you a question. Do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or think it needs to be reformed?
I think they need to wrap it up some more. Tell the truth.
And why
Uh,
is that?
we don't need these illegals in here. I mean, you can't be in this country undocumented. That's some BS right there. I can't be in no other country undocumented. So how can other people be here undocumented and stuff like that? So I'm not with that. And I know how the immigration that really hurts Black people because it cuts out a lot of jobs, takes us out the job market. So I'm not with that stuff.
All right, let me ask you another question. Should immigration enforcement focus only on violent offenders?
No, everybody must go.
Yeah, let me add on real quick. I mean, if you come in here illegally, you are a violent offender.
Yeah, you broke the law. I mean, you can't. You come across that border. You snuck across that border. You broke the law. It's just if I go sneaking up in Canada, I'm going to jail.
I gotta admit though, they got good climbing skills, man. I don't know how they're hopping those borders.
Some of them fly here, Kate.
I mean, I disagree. Like, I don't think that, well, I think that because the majority of the people who are coming here, are being used as slave labor. Like, I particularly don't want to see African American people, like, having to take up those jobs.
Take up what jobs, babe? What jobs do you don't want to see Black Americans taking up?
Like, some of, like, being paid lesser wages, or having to do, like, so a lot of immigrants that are coming here, even though they do have green cards, or they're what are they called, like seasonal workers? They're working in fields. They're working as like help in different places, as like the maids, the nannies, the cleaning people, stuff like that, and not being paid appropriate wages. And I don't personally want to see African American people like having to take those jobs because they get rid of immigrants and they have to find another slave population.
So let me say, you mean that having to take those jobs? You know, we've already did all those jobs. So let's see. Go ahead, Gino, about that question.
Looking for that, baby.
Should immigration?
Yeah, babe, I'd like to respond to you if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean by illegal immigrants getting paid less, but that's because they're undocumented. African Americans are documented, like most of them, right? Americans, they are documented, so it won't happen to them.
I mean, I think that the government finds ways to make people do things like with the education and prison pipeline that disproportionately affects African American people, as well as Indigenous American people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incorrect though.
That's not incorrect. That is an actual thing that's happening, and I think
Can you bring up a
is
source
for the education to prison pipeline.
No, that African Americans are getting paid less, and the government will abuse the system.
So that's not what I said. What I said was that the education to prison pipeline disproportionately affects African American people, or Black American people, and that is directly correlated with chattel slavery.
1 second, you guys. A little break, real quick.
This is in the U.S.
One second, Kate. 1 second, real quick, sister. All right, y'all. Can y'all tap the screen for me? I want to get to 5K, you guys. Repost the live. Do your daily heart me if you don't mind. Gift the host and the panel if possible. Okay, Kate, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean this might happen in other countries, but not in the U.S.
No, that does definitely happen here. So like the
way that I believe in Black privilege.
That's fine, but the way that taxes are allocated, they are purposely taken out of African American communities, where people are not given the appropriate resources, and then that correlates to the crime rates, and it also correlates.
I understand now, actually, yeah, but I think that's more due to the states, right?
No, it is due to racism and white supremacy. But okay.
Okay, we're past that, respectfully.
Okay, you guys. Okay, let me ask you. How do we? Oh wait, Lionel. Is Lionel? Is that Lionel down there, babe?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I wish I can move you up because I can't even see your name. Lionel, let me ask you. How do we balance border security and human rights?
Border security and human rights. I mean, tell the truth. I mean, if you come across that border, you shouldn't have any rights. I mean, you should be the first thing smoking out of here. I mean, I don't know how you get rights.
I agree. Because they'll get one of us.
Yeah.
So, I agree.
Okay, y'all. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying you need to be abused or anything like that. I'm not saying nothing crazy like that, but you need to be
Right.
on the first thing smoking out of here. But if
So
you
Well,
come back
people
again, it should
people who do come
be an
over the
issue.
border, they are like allowed rights, and it's through the Geneva Convention. Well, I don't think that it's upheld the way that it should be, but I mean, essentially, you are supposed to have them.
well, Lionel, what would a fair immigration system look like to you?
If you come over to this country, you need to be documented. That's the only thing to be fair about it. That's the only thing. Because I like to go other places, and I don't want to, and I got to have my paperwork right. So when people come up here, they got to have their paperwork right. It can't be no sneaking into this country. That's out the picture right there.
Kate, what you think about the question? What would a fair immigration system look like to you?
Fair. What do you mean by fair immigration system? Sorry.
I don't know. You might be under the belief that people, that people you shouldn't expect you have a right to come to this country. So you know what I
Oh,
mean.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's currently fine. Like just wait in line.
Just wait. So what about the people who get their work visas and it takes like 20 years to get citizenship, but the work visas expire in 10 years. What you think about that? What should the person do on day 10 year and 1 day once it expires? And they still waiting to go to court and stuff.
That's unlucky. I mean, then yeah, I guess the system's got to change. But does that really happen?
Yeah, that's the majority of the immigration. So most people are not undocumented. They come and they have green cards. And then when they petition for their citizenship, their green card expires while they're in the process. And that's why you see so many people who are like, yeah, I'm going to my court dates and I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. The progress or the process just takes 25 up to 25 years.
They need to go back home to their court they arrive.
You can't. You have to live here. You have to be actively living in the United States for that process to complete. That's our immigration system right now.
Well, that's that. I mean, that ain't cool right there.
So,
That
babe,
don't,
what do you think about and then I also let me ask Lionel this. Lionel, do you think women who haven't been who haven't went through the whole citizenship process, what do you think about them having children on this soil? And if they do you think their children should automatically become citizens?
oh, that's some BS right there. I mean, nah. You shouldn't. I mean, I don't care. You come here to work on a visa or anything. You don't become a U.S. citizen by that. Yeah, I'm sorry. That don't qualify you.
Okay, so we got a new guest. Hello, Politics. Is that your name? Political. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you support ICE as it currently operates? Do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I think it should be reformed on some levels. This is kind of a goalpost answer, if you
Okay.
don't mind, but the behavior has been excessive. I will give it that. And the reason why I say it needs to be reformed is because to my knowledge and from the research I've done, ICE is the only government entity that does not have its own internal affairs to do investigations when things get chaotic. So I think that should be changed if that is true. But I do support ICE now because they've calmed down a little bit
Okay.
and starting to do it better, in
All
my
right.
opinion.
Good, good. So let me ask you this. Should immigration enforcement be handled at a federal or state level? What do you think?
That's kind of a hard one for me to answer because if you ask me on a state level, it should be the border states on the north and the south part of the United States. But if it's going to be federal, then if it's going to be not that and it's going to be every state, then the federal government should handle it.
So it's some people, like I believe Kate who stated when Kate left, but she stated that you can't trust the sanctuary cities to do the right thing, or the states with sanctuary cities in them to do the right thing and enforce the the immigration laws. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know, to be honest, because, so here's my thing. So we have the supremacy clause in the U.S. Constitution, right? But we also have states' rights and the states' powers. Is it right for the any administration to tell another state how they should run? No, it's not. But at the same time, immigration is a federal issue. So my question would be, how would you fix that problem? Do we eliminate the states' rights, or do we eliminate the supremacy clause and then have another issue on our hand? And if that's the answer, then where does it stop?
Bay, you got something to say about that?
About it not, I mean, I like my city, and it's a sanctuary city. And I particularly like my city because um, when we had problems with our police, we did something about it, and now we have a problem with ICE, and we did something about it. So, like, them saying, or who was it, Kate saying that you cannot trust sanctuary cities, it's particularly nice here.
You can grab a mic, Emily. It's open for everybody to grab a mic. All I ask is let's be respectful of everybody's opinions. So, Lionel, let me ask you this. What should ICE's primary role be in the United States?
Deporting these illegals. That's their primary role. But that dude that dude was saying about the states you're running. I have to disagree with that, because we don't have borders in between states, and you let the states run. These people go be all over the country. So I can agree with that. It got to be the feds running that stuff.
Okay. Hi, Emily. Thank you for joining us tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
I'm doing well. I hope they doing well too. So let me ask you, do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I think it needs to be reinformed. I'm 100% like, I don't like ICE at all. I mean, ICE has always been here, and that I understand, but things are different now. You know what I mean? Things are getting a lot more dangerous at how they're handling things, and I'm not with that. But I think that ICE needs to definitely need to get like another course done, because I don't think. I mean, yes, go after the people you have a list for, 100%. Those people, whether they committed murders, sexually abuse somebody, physically abuse somebody, murder somebody, 100% take them out, 100%. But there are a lot of immigrants who come to this country because they want either a better life, or they're running away from their country that could possibly hurt them or kill them. And I think, I
On the live, Emily, on the live. But go ahead. I hear
sorry,
you.
I apologize.
That's okay.
But I'm coming from a family myself of immigrants. Like, I hear stories from everyone, and I'm like, you guys came here to have a better life, and you guys do what you need to do. You guys pay your taxes, and yet it takes a really, really long time. That everyone's saying like we should get all the immigrants out. They're not doing it the correct way, but it takes a really, really long time for someone to even get their paperwork. Even someone going through asylum, it takes a very, very long time.
So, Emily, I got two questions for you. So, do you think that that is Americans' problem, whether or not how long it takes? Like once you get your visa, your work visa, and then once it expires, do you think maybe they said immigrants have to stay here until they actually get their citizenship? But do you think that should be the American citizens' problem, how long it takes?
I don't think this is their problem, because at the end of the day, they mind their business, we mind ours. We try to go with what we can do, and we try our best to pay these lawyers, and and it's expensive to have a lawyer for any situation, whether it's immigration lawyer, court lawyer, any kind of lawyer. They're expensive.
Okay, and I had asked the question earlier, you wasn't here, and I had asked the question, is it just impossible for people to, maybe change things in their countries? Is that just out of the question? They have to leave. It's no way possible for them to, make their countries more prosperous or safer or anything like that. It's just they have no choice but to leave their country. Is that it?
I mean, I think for some countries it's near to almost impossible to make their country safer. El Salvador, I don't know how they did it, but they got a whole bunch of gang members and everything, and they put them in jail, and now it's a lot safer of a place. My father, he's in El Salvador, and he said it's a lot better than how it used to be. But in Mexico, I'm half Mexican, half Salvadorian. In Mexico, at least where my mother grew up at, cartels were everywhere, and of course, cartels are the most dangerous people to be around with. And you could be driving and you could be minding your business, and they, just because of how you look and just because maybe the way you speak, if they don't like you, they can shoot you.
So do you think immigration enforcement should only focus on violent offenders?
Violent offenders, especially pedos and stuff like that. Yes, 100%. But I think the people who are immigrants, that are actually trying to make something out of their lives here, who are paying their taxes, who have a family here. A lot of these immigrants, they bust their butt. They bust their butt to have the life that they have. And I'm not saying they have a right to have it, because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a right to be in the country, but it's a, oh my goodness, what's the word?
Let you think about that word while I make a quick little announcement. You guys, do me a favor and tap the screen. I want to get to 5K. That's my only goal. 5K likes. Please tap the screen, or we're going to cut the comments off for a second. But please tap the screen. I'm going to invite some people up. And Kate, my thing, the way I have a question for you as far as that goes, as far as the violent offenders. My
No, I
thing
don't want to
is,
join.
oh, that's okay, you can drop them. But my thing is, the crime has already been committed. Once, if they go after a violent offender, then, what about, the crime has been committed. If we all thought like that, I'm just giving you my thoughts. If we all thought like, let's wait and just, go after the violent criminals, but the crime to the person and the family has already been committed though. So are you under the impression that, just wait and see what happens? Emily?
I you got me a little tied up right there, because I
Okay,
I
so the question was, should immigration enforcement focus only on violent criminals? And you said basically yes. And what I'm saying, I'm asking you, well, I'm actually stating my opinion. My opinion is that the crime has already been committed. Now you have victims. So are we to just wait and just, hope that people don't commit violent offenses?
no, I don't think we should wait, and I say that because unfortunately myself, I was a victim of something like that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, it's okay. I'm excuse me.
Take your time.
I don't think I don't think we should wait. unfortunately, a lot of it doesn't get spoken out about. And that's because like a lot of these people who do stuff like this put a bad rep on like everyone else. And a lot of these people who do stuff to these people, whether it's adults or children, I think, need to speak up, but of course it's hard. And unfortunately, the person who did it to me, he ran away, and we were able to find him, and he died, which I thought was the worst case possible. Not the fact that he died, but the fact that he wasn't caught and he wasn't prosecuted for anything. And that's where I'm like tied up, because I'm like, a lot of the people who are immigrants who put a bad rep on the rest of the immigrants, and that's the biggest thing, and that people put a bad rep on all the immigrants because there's a handful, or more than a handful of them, who do bad stuff.
Oh wow, wow, Lionel, you got something to say? You got something to say about that?
Well, like I said, these people got to get better before they come over here. Like I said, I'm not with all that sneaking across the border and all that stuff. People got to be better before they come over here. We need to be doing background checks on people, all that stuff. I mean, it's just like I never been to Canada. I never tried to go to Canada, but they said you can't go over to Canada from the United States with a criminal record. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. You can't go over there if you have a felony.
Okay, yeah. So why should people come in? I mean, that because they haven't committed a crime over here. I mean, outside of coming across that border illegally, don't mean they ain't criminals. I mean, you got to know who's who around here. Like all these people, all these sisters begin to rape. These sisters begin to rape, like the one guy just unalive not too long ago, and all these YT women that been raped and all that. Been she's been sexually assaulted. I mean, it's just too much. I mean, it's bad enough we got criminals over here, but we don't need more criminals. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. So we have a new guest. We have a new guest up on the panel. The whole truth. How you doing, my sister?
I'm great, my sister. How's everybody?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So I
Good.
got a quick question for you. Do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I think it needs reforming. I'm retired from ICE.
Oh wow.
And I think that ICE has been used in a political tool than what it was. It has not. It's been mucked in the mud, because ICE mission and objective is not what it has been drug into. We've been doing things for quite some time, and there was not any political media coverage as it has. We've been doing things the way that it always been done. That's why you didn't really hear and see it. Our struggle was resources, not enough people, not enough to be applied. I have the way that it has been politically weaponized. They take a bad rep, because we are a nation of laws. Unfortunately, a lot of those things and the breakdown of the system, they need reforming. But it's been operating off of an outdated system for years of presidents, years. And it has its own casualties, the system itself, where you have a mix of people who have abused the system, the asylum system. They've abused the overstays. They've abused, committed crimes. They've done a lot of things. And it's a mix of people who probably do have good intentions. But I've worked also in citizenship and immigration. I've worked on both sides. So I know the system is broken and outdated, but it been needing reform. And it's now just became a hotbed because the same things that ICE has been doing, you just didn't hear a lot about the takeovers, the undercover ops, all the things they've been doing. This is not nothing new. It's just that we're in this political background where they have obscured the mission and the objectives. And I don't like how it's been drug in because ICE has done an incredible amount of work, but it is working off of an antiquated system of surveillance and monitoring and needing to maximize its technology because there are a lot of things that can be done to improve it. I don't like overstays. People abuse what we have. If you know that your status has changed and that your overstay, you supposed to be gone. And the reporting and tracking it is just not there. And the
Okay.
system need to beef up. It really do.
All right, let me ask you something. Since you have experience in working in this field, if you don't mind, I want to ask you a couple of questions. And if you don't mind answering a couple of questions as well for some of the panelists, one of my questions is what impact did you see as far as ICE operations? What impact did they have on families in the communities?
Well, the main impact is the separation of the families. But you got to think about it. You have laws that are in place too that you have to abide by. It's like you have to choose between do you dishonor the law, even though you don't agree with it, and even though you know it needs to probably be reformed, but you have to abide by the law. We are a nation of laws. And
Okay.
unfortunately, it just takes so long to reform it. Look how many presidents it has went through, and it hasn't gotten any movement or traction. So guess what? You still have to operate within those laws.
So the whole truth, why do you think that is?
You mean the reform hasn't
Yeah,
happened?
right.
Well, we got the political infighting that comes with Congress. That comes with people who you vote and put in those seats. They
So some
Negative.
can't
people,
they can't they can't agree to
so
get it
some
done.
Negative.
So some
Not
people want
true.
them here, and so wait a minute, stay on your mic. Hold on. So some people, in your opinion, some people want them here, and some don't. Then, right?
Of course, it's all tied at the end of the day as to who the lobbyists are. Because at the end of the day, immigrants do make money. They do have bonds on them. If you really go deep, it's all about money. Every last one, when they're assigned their A numbers, I'm sure who's ever immigrant, they know what that number is. That thing comes with a bond.
Okay. And before I get to block party, one more question: should there be limits on where and how ICE conducts its arrest? Now, I don't know if you were out on the field or what position you held when you worked for ICE, but I know you probably know people who was out in the field. So, can you answer that question? Should there be limits on where and how ICE conduct this arrest? Because I think I heard someone on the panel say that without a warrant, ICE isn't supposed to enter a residence. So can you speak on that a little bit?
I have worked in the field, and
Okay.
there are procedures that take place. And no, there won't be a limit. Just like local law enforcement, they don't have limits once they have the proper protocols. I don't think there's not going to be ICE. The way that it's been ran before, the protocols, I won't go into details, but that paperwork and that process, before there's any type of raids or anything, the due diligence supposed to already been in place. And if that process is done in place, then they go where they need to go.
Okay, well, we're gonna open it up, an open discussion. Y'all can go ahead. If anybody got any questions for the whole truth or y'all want to ask questions.
Can I ask her a question?
I want to ask her a question too.
Me as well.
It's open discussion, y'all.
Hey, the
Oh,
whole truth. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead. I
Okay,
can.
well, the whole truth. I wanted to know if you knew about like what was the idea behind making the Wiffle building an ICE detention center, and why did they choose that building?
That I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Political, you wanna go? You wanna go next since you were one of the first ones to ask.
That's fine. Whole truth. If you don't mind me asking, so I think I kind of understand what you're saying, about certain procedures and everything. And like I told the host in the beginning, I don't like the tactics that I've seen. Without getting too political in this, I'm not a fan of the current administration doing mass operations. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like, and this is from research and it could be wrong, and I'm hoping you can correct this if it is, that ICE doesn't have any inward uh, fixing, meaning they don't have an internal affairs department. Is that true?
Yeah, we have one. We have the OIG. We have one.
I mean, but do you agree with the statement that where there's mass operations that it there's error, and then we see what we've seen, whether it's on the news or on social media or unalivings of certain people because of aggressions on either side, no matter how you look at it. Do you think that that is is something that should be addressed?
Okay, so I look at it from two sides because I am retired in the military. I think ICE is out of its jurisdictional boundaries. I really do. I don't think we were never designed to be doing the tactics of what they do now. That was never there. ICE was always doing things, especially when I worked at HSI. We were doing things that people just didn't know. We worked partnership with local laws under our 287G program, and we did what we needed to do. It just got drug in to the political divide of and weaponized, and that's not what ICE does. And I don't like that, because at the end of the day, when I was in the field and doing things and having to do the mission that I was assigned to, it's a tough call because I have family, I have a life, kids that I want to go home to too. I'm human too, but when you take an oath and that oath is miscued, you're put in one of the toughest spots that you have. Even military, same thing. There's a mission and a goal that has to be accomplished. But I think in this instance, ICE, where they've been positioned, they've been taken advantage of. And I don't like the tactics. I don't like what has happened. I really don't, because that's not what it was trained. That's not what it was set to do. They've changed the rules of engagement. And sometimes, and even the training is inexperienced. They weren't trained to be going out on those streets. That's not what we did. That's why you have other agencies to do that.
Right. That's it for me for now.
This is more of a question for not only just for the whole truth, but I guess for anybody. I know everyone's seeing like children are being taken from ICE agents, and that a lot of children are like running away from them too. I just want to know, like, I'm assuming most of everyone here has a child. I have two kids myself. I have twin boys. And I would never want anything to happen to them, let alone be scared of someone who, the military or the police force or anybody who works out in the force. I wouldn't want them to be scared of them, because at the end of the day, those are the people who are supposed to protect us. But they're out there taking children, tackling children, pepper spraying them. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not agree with dehumanizing people. That's me. I do not. Um, and I can only imagine being put in that position. I just wouldn't do it. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not doing no kids. I'm not doing those tactics at all. There comes a point when you have to have your own moral compass and you
That's
have to
right.
make your own decisions. And that's one that I just wouldn't do, to be honest. I mean, whether I'm going to get to a new assignment or whether I get suspended, then that's just what it's going to be. But I don't do children. I don't do old women. I don't do none of those things. No,
That's good to hear.
no, that's just, and there are a lot of guys I still am connected to. It's, they take this stuff home, and this is a very stressful, you're actually putting them in the position of choosing whether they're going to continue to feed their family because of the employment that they're in, or they go out here and and believe it or not, you probably won't hear, there are a lot of people I know, even in my ICE family, that have retired early because of this. They said no.
So
A
let me
lot
ask
of
you,
them
whole
have.
truth. Let me ask you, what type of training does these off ICE agents get? Like, how long is the training for to be an ICE agent?
Um,
Good question.
my training in the field was 6 months before I went out, and it depends on what type of area that you in. Like, we have anti-transnational gangs, we have human trafficking, white collar crime. It just depends on where you're going and what you're doing. I've been on the administrative policy side. I've been out in the field in the unit. I've been in a various areas. So it depends
So
on
what
what you're going to be doing.
right. And what was the open, since you have experience and you know you've probably been to numerous borders, or you know all about borders and this and that. What would the open border look like for the United States of America, in your opinion?
It depends on where. Do you know how long the border is? That
Let's say
border.
all borders leading to another country. So say
Canada's border don't look like Mexico's border.
no, I'm saying like if we had, say tomorrow it was signed in, you
Mm.
know, we have no borders in the United States. What would that look? What would that look like for our country? Do you
No.
think it? Do you think it'll hurt? Do you think it'll harm it, or do you think it'll improve
Oh,
it?
with no borders?
Yes.
Total chaos. Total
Okay.
chaos. Total chaos, because you don't have any way of knowing who's doing what. And there are other countries who wish to do bodily harm.
Okay.
You
So
would you would
Bay.
not know.
Okay, so Bay, what would you say to her answer? Because Bay here, she believes in it shouldn't be borders, you know, and that's her opinion, and we're gonna respect it. But what would you say to the whole truth, who's an experienced ICE agent? What would you say? Because she says it'll be a negative effect on our country, and how would you, you know, what pushback would you give?
I think that if we stopped destabilize, or if we started to not destabilize countries and made it more accessible for people to go home, then more people would want to go home. I don't think that people uproot themselves from where they live and leave because like their country is doing well and stuff. So I think that if we stopped doing a lot of the things that we were doing, a lot of people would like want to go home.
Okay, I thought that question was more based about the safety of the United people in the United States. Well, for us
It
Yeah.
people,
was, it was, it was.
okay, the people
That's
going
what.
home
Yeah.
and back. That's not a
Go
good
Well,
ahead,
like
thing.
Lionel. Go ahead,
I don't
Lionel. You
think.
can speak. Y'all can have a
Well,
dialogue.
I don't think that people like. I don't think that people want to come here and harm us for no reason. Is what I'm saying. It's like if we stopped going over there and destabilizing countries and committing acts of violence in other countries, then people would like us more.
I don't think that got nothing to do with it. It's just people want to come over here and just do crazy stuff, period. Like the lady just said, she worked for the government. People just want to come and do it just to do it. I mean, just the 9/11 stuff. I mean, that stuff was wild. Them people on them plane didn't deserve none of that stuff.
That was because we went over there and we did that to their country.
Well, here's my thing, my opinion on that. I don't think it has nothing to do with destabilizing. If that's the case, if we destabilize, then why would you want to go to the place that destabilized you? You should go somewhere else. Why would you
Because
come here?
because when we do that, we also send propaganda that tells people to come here. So when we go over there, we destabilize their countries, and then we tell them, "Oh well, America has all of these wonderful things, and you should go there." And they have abundance of food and programs and all the other list of things.
But
Okay.
what you saying
But
that
wait
that's
1 second, the whole truth. 1 second.
mhm.
Just let me ask her a quick question. So, a lot of times we have WARs, people unalive, and things like that. So you mean that even though a country may have unalived, did horrible things over to your family members or something in that country that we supposedly had destabilized. Even though all that, they still want to come to a country that did all that to them.
Well, a lot of times when we go over there, we don't go over there under like the umbrella of the United States. We're going over there as large corporations, that are also like funded by the government and like have large influence in our politics and things. So like if you look at stuff like the Banana Republic and the way that that destabilized Central America, and like that was because of the Dole Company. Um, and a lot of those migrants came here. So they didn't go over there and say like, "Oh, well, we are the United States." They were just a large company that was heavily influenced in our politics.
Okay, we're gonna let the whole truth respond. Then we're gonna get to our a new speaker, EQ man.
How's it
All
going,
right, go
guys?
ahead. Okay, just 1 moment. After the whole truth lands, we'll answer her question or with whatever she want to say. Then it's gonna be your turn. Go ahead, the whole truth.
yeah, I'm gonna just say this. Destabilizing, it seems like it's geographically down south. But there are immigrants from everywhere that we don't destabilize, that still come for their own reasons. If you look at ICE webpage, it's not just the South Central America. There are arrests everywhere. And that's why I was going back to saying the absolute no borders. It is not just coming from down south. It comes from Europe as well.
Okay,
Okay, so EQ man, go ahead. Let me ask you a question first. How you
sure.
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a 56-year-old man, and I look at I look at this from a California.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. Hold on. I'm so glad you're here, but I got a quick question for you.
Mhm.
The immigration enforcement, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. So do you support ICE as it currently operates, or do you oppose it, or do you think it needs to be reformed?
I support it, and it needs to be the laws are on the book. I support it. I've actually been arrested by ICE. I'm Mexican, because I'm from California. And I don't know if anybody's been arrested by ICE on your panel, but I have, because I am Mexican, Mexican American, and I'm a veteran. And I'm from the Central Valley, from California. So I look at this from a agricultural perspective. My father owns several ranches, and his buddies own several ranches. So we need immigrants to pick our crops. And let's face it, and I'm not trying to be racial or nothing, but black folks ain't going to pick crops no more. You're not going to get Asians. You're not going to get white folks. You're not going to get kids, high school kids, to go out into these fields and pick our crops. It ain't going to happen. It is just not going to happen. So back in my dad's days,
Hey,
younger.
wait, real quick. I just have a quick question for you.
Mhm.
So why do you think Black Americans won't be picking crops?
Because you ain't going to get no money. You just ain't going to get, you're not going to get no buddy out there to go pick crops for whatever they're paying them. You just ain't. When I picked crops when I was younger, I was getting 15 cents a tray, which is you get a pan for grapes. You go pick a silver pan, a tin tray, and you get 15 cents a tray back in my day.
And
You
what
think you're
year?
going?
What? And you 56,
I'm
57?
I'm 56 years old. You think you're going to
Oh,
get?
He
You
telling
think
the truth.
I'm telling you the truth? You think you're going to get black
I
kids?
picked
Asian?
blueberries and tomatoes,
You ain't going to
and
get
I'm
no. You
58.
yeah
I made $11, and I owed the people for eating $12.
yeah. You ain't going to get
I
kids.
ate up $12 and made 11.
You know what
I
I'm
never
saying?
went back.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. So, so back in the let me tell I'm telling you all the truth. So back in the day, my dad and his rancher friends would go. They used to have the visa program, the two alpha thing was called 2A visa workers program. They would go down to TJ and they would go down and pick up like 150 migrants, and they would bring them back to the farms here in the Central Valley, and they would work them on the crops. And as long as they did everything right, they would tell them, "Look, you do good, and you don't get into fights, and you don't do anything wrong, and blah blah blah. You do good work. We'll give you a little extra money when you do the crop." And these gentlemen would come back every year, and I would know these guys, and I would go visit these guys in Mexico. They would invite me to their homes because they would make good money here, and when they would go back home, that would be good money for them.
I
And and
remember that
and the thing is that
back in the day.
yeah. So what I'm getting at is that's when they should have fixed that program where these cats right here, these Mexicans right here, because I'm Mexican myself, they should have said, okay, if these guys put 10 years in, 15 years in the season, working the crops, put these guys in the back of the line as long as they don't have no criminal records, and they could have got their papers. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that because they didn't fix any legislation for that kind of stuff. And now we got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them here now, and the whole system's all jacked up. And who knows how they're going to fix it. But it's just all messed up. So now you come to California now. I've been picked up by ICE myself. I go to my local gas station in Central Valley, go get my burrito in the morning for work,
so why
my
did they pick
coffee.
you up? Why did ICE
Because
pick you up?
okay, let me explain. You just go get your coffee in the morning, you get your breakfast burrito, you get pumping your gas. Next thing you know, there's 30, 40 Mexicans doing the same thing that I'm doing, grabbing their coffee for the morning, their donut, their whatever, their pan dulce, whatever. Next thing you know, the border patrol pulls up and they're arresting everybody. You
Well,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
what does that process look like? So
Okay,
they just roll up on
they
you.
just
So
roll
you
up
just
and
getting coffee. They
yeah,
just roll up on you and they just
they,
take you.
yeah, they just roll up on you and they say, "Hey, everybody pull out their IDs." And so, it just so happened that when they got me, I had just came from Mexico the week before, so I had my passport in my car. So here I am sucking on my coffee and my burrito in my hand, and I'm a veteran. I did 3 combat tours, so I put my coffee on the hood of my car, I pull out my wallet, have my driver's license, my military ID, veteran ID, and I told the cop, the ICE agent, I said, "Hey, I got my passport right there. If you want it, sure, hand it to me." Handed it to them. They said, "Hey, took 5 minutes. Hey, thank you for your service. Have a nice day." But guess what? They hemmed up like 20 guys because why? They were illegal. You know what I mean?
Okay, so do you think immigration enforcement should be a state or local issue?
Well, that's the problem. It on the books. That's who does it. It's a federal thing. That's on the books. That's who does it. Here, it's state. I mean, it's federal. State. It's not a local thing. It's state. Now the problem is California is a sanctuary city, and that's the problem. That some of these rapists and child molesters and all this.
It's great TikTok language.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All these bad people. Let's just call them all the bad people. They're not letting them. They're not letting the feds, which are ICE, go into the jails and get these jokers out. They're letting them out. They're letting them get a jail free pass, and all they want to do is come in and get that retainer and get them out. That's why they're getting so mad, and you see all these protests and all that because they have to go into the neighborhoods and go find these jokers. When all they really need to do is call up ICE and say, "Hey, we got, Juan Diego that did some bad stuff to some kids, trafficking this or that. Can come pick this joker up. Sure, we'll be right there." But no, they sneak them out the back of the door and let them out. and then he's over here.
Thank you, FBA. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got all this crap going on, and it's terrible, But if you ain't got no problem here in California or anywhere else, if you got your IDs on you and whatever, there's nothing wrong, And then you see, then I see the media with, oh, they arrested the kid. No, they don't. If you and I get arrested and we have our kids and we get a DUI, they're gonna take that kid away from us. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's just so bad right now. But
Thank you for the
they need to fix all this stuff. I support anything. I support people to protest. I fought for this country. Do what you want, but don't impede the law enforcement. Protest all you want. Do your best, but don't get involved with all the law and getting in front of cars and all that crap. Do what you want to do, but let the police and the ICE do what they got to do. But I'm talking. The thing that gets me really, really, really upset about my people. I'm speaking about my people. Because I'm Mexican. Is the paperwork, okay? The trying to get their papers. And then let me tell you how it goes. Okay, you hear. Well, I've been here 30 years. Okay, 30, 40 years. Okay, they try.
Give it to me in 20 seconds. Give it to me
They try
less
to
than
get
a minute.
they try to get their paperwork. They first come over, they try to do it in 5 years. They figure out that they can't do it. It costs too much. And then next thing you know, they put it on the back burner. Okay. Next thing you know, they get married, they start pumping out kids. They don't want to do it. They hire a lawyer, the lawyer scams them. They don't want to do it. Next thing you know, they have more kids.
Let me stop you right there. Because I asked a question earlier.
Mhm.
Do you think people who have not completed the entire process, do you think that they should, well, if they have children here, do you think that those children should automatically become United States citizens?
I think those kids that are here, honest to God, I think those kids, and they do have that program, I think those kids should join the military or do something for the government so that their kids can give back to this country and help serve this country, and their parents can become U.S. citizens.
Okay, so let me get this straight. They can't, I don't think the military, you have to be 18, right, to join the military, right?
Yes.
So through age 1 through 10, so a parent has a child here.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's an infant. And during that time, it's at the 10-year point when their work visa expires.
Mhm.
So do you think that child, that's going to take a whole long 18 more years. So, and it's normally taking 20, 25 years to get citizenship. So you saying, in your opinion, that child, we're supposed to, the child is going to stay in this country and wait until they're 18 or beyond to join the military. Then their parents, who's not U.S. citizens, will be afforded citizenship.
Yeah, but I know what you're getting at. The younger ones, like say 17 or below or 16 and below. I've had family or friends that have made that decision. They've literally said they packed up their stuff and they have self-deported because they've done what I said earlier. They can't afford the legal work or the legality of it, and they just say, you know what, this administration is not going to mess around. We just can't. We can't because the system's so broken. They just can't do it. So it's that's what I'm trying to tell your listeners. You're going to get hemmed up. I would not want to drive my car with the tail light broken out and just not be able to come home to my family. It's better to just pack up your stuff, self-deport with your belongings, with your family, and leave on your own merit, your own belongings, your own family. And maybe one day, God willing, you can come back when things cool down. If you want to gamble with your life and your family's life, so be it. But know that if you get caught up, you are going to get caught up, and you might not be able to come back ever again. So
were your parents legal when
Oh yeah,
were
my
you born
family.
here?
Oh yeah, my family's been legal all their lives.
Oh, so
even
they came the right way.
yeah, they came the right way. Yeah. So I'm talking about the people that just came over, however or whatever. But like I said, that's the best advice that I can give my people right now, my Mexican people that are here illegally, and they knew it. They all, believe me, my Mexican people, they knew this day was going to come one day or not, or they knew it. They all
So what's
know
their reason for coming here?
because they all listen. You see them flying the Mexican flags in their protests, and you'll ask them, "Why are you flying the
Right.
Mexican?" Why are you flying the Mexican flag, not the American flag? Because
Mm-hmm.
they'll say because we are strong in our Mexican heritage. We love our Mexican food, our Mexican music, our Mexican culture. We love that. But we know that we cannot make the same amount of money in Mexico than we can here in the United States. That's a
So the
given.
whole truth above you, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but I kind of like to hit subjects or talking points as they come. So the whole truth, she actually told a previous guest of ours, Bay, that a lot of people are not immigrating to this country because the United States of America destabilized their country. So are you saying that they're coming for resources and it's not about destabilizing their countries?
Listen, I'm telling you, I go to Mexico every 6 months, and I go and I'll tell my buddies when I go down there, I'll say, hey, can you take me to the government offices and tell me? Can you point me to the offices where I can get free medical, free dental, free vision, free education, free housing, free education? Can you take me to those offices where I can sign up for that? And they laugh at me, and they say,
So it's all about resources.
"Yeah, they'll say that there's none of that. There's none of that. You'll never get any of that." Mexican government will never give you anything like the US will give you. And the Mexican people know that. But it's real funny. If you go to the southern border of Mexico, on Latin American side where Honduras and Ecuador is trying to get into Mexico, guess who's guarding that? The Mexican border, the Mexican military. They do not want any of those people coming in to Mexico. Okay, so it's a catch-22 because they can't afford to pay and use their resources to cover the Honduras people, the El Salvadorian people that want to migrate up to Mexico. So you see what I'm saying? So it's just bad all around. But yet we as Americans, taxpayers, we have to pay for everybody that comes across, and it's not fair. So it's just like, I wish that everybody could understand that it's not fair to us, as taxpayers, you know, and if there's not, believe me, I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings on all
Hey,
this that I say.
Black.
So we need to just take a step back. I hope we elect the right people into your state and local and federal offices, and we need to get all this fixed. But you know what, people, we need to take care of our own first, because our children, our grandchildren, they're the ones that are gonna suffer in the end. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing that. I want to open it up
Go
to
ahead.
the
Have a good
panel.
night.
If anyone has questions for each other, I'm gonna go on mute and let y'all talk. If not, then I'll come back to my questions. We don't have any new guests, so.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I know you were talking about the children. You saying that that there haven't been any children that have been arrested. What do you have to say? And I brought this up to the panel earlier. What do you have to say about the children who has been tackled down, who has been pepper sprayed, who has been used as bait, um, to get the parents or the family member, whoever? What do you have to say about all of that? And I'm not here to be like, oh, you're wrong, you're right. I just want to know how you feel about that whole
I'm
situation.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm ex-military. I did 3 combat tours, and I'm gonna tell you this. It's all tactics. Okay. It's all about tactics. Okay. Military tactics. Okay. When you when you need to draw people out, they're gonna do stuff like that. Did you see the tape the other day when they pulled up to a house and they raised the hood of the car, acting like the car was broken?
Yes, I seen that exact video. Yeah, I know what you're
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about.
that's what you call a military tactic. Okay,
Hmm.
that's what they do. They will do whatever they got to do to get the person that they need. Okay, the thing about that is this: what did that person do that they were going off? This is what I want people to realize. Okay, everybody. Okay, in the morning before, and I'm ex-military, we would never execute a mission. And I believe me, and I hate to say this, I have unalived a lot of people in my life in the military. Okay, every time we had a mission, we would not go out there. We wouldn't get up in the morning and say, "Oh, let's just put bullets in our gun and let's just go kill 100 people." No, You have to sit down, you have to get briefed, and you have to get your intelligence, your intel to go out. These ICE officers do the same thing. They get briefed and they say, okay, today, people, we're going after Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo trafficked 100 kids, okay? This is his face. This is what he did. This is his last known residence. This is where he lives. This is what we're going to do. If he does this, this is our tactic that we're going to do. We're going to do the old raise the hood on him today. We're going to think that the car's broken. Let's see if we can draw him out. Okay. If the people come out, we're going to use pepper spray. We're going to do this. Okay. Is it bad that the kids get involved and they get, whatever? This is bad because people are coming out and getting hurt. Innocent bystanders. Let's face it. People are getting emboldened by, they don't care no more about the law. This is what I was getting at. People have the right to protest,
True.
but people should not get involved by thinking that I can go up to a cop or an ICE agent. You're going to pick up charges by charging a cop. Okay. All right. And now it looks like there's a lot of African American panels in this conversation. You all can ask your grandparents. You tried that crap back in your grandparents' days. You were getting hit with water cannons and dogs. Y'all remember that? Hearing them stories? Okay. You
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
I do.
You remember
I
that?
do.
Okay. You don't see that now. Okay. But that's what happened back in, I can remember those days. Okay. I can. But that's what used to happen. Be thankful that people are just getting pepper sprayed. Okay. Thankfully,
And
they're not
water
getting
hose
tased
too.
or what, But the thing that I'm getting at, young lady, is this. People should not be getting protest. I'm not telling you not to protest. Protest on the street. People are just saying, you know what? I'm going to protest. I'm going to get up in this mug's face. Okay? I'm going to get up in this this cop's face. Okay? That's the problem. Okay? They're there because they got briefed. They knew this guy did something bad and they're going after him. Okay? That's the problem. That's where you need to separate the two. Okay. And I want you to remember that every time you see them going after somebody, it's not because they just have they just doing it for fun. They were briefed on why they needed to do that. Okay. Believe me, if they had the time, you could, if you saw them at a coffee shop and you could talk to them individually and say, hey, were you briefed this morning on who you had to grab? And they would gladly tell you, yes, we were briefed on why we had. They probably can't because it's secretive, but believe me, they were briefed. Every one of them were briefed because their lives are on the line. Okay. Did that answer your question?
It did just a little bit. I have a follow up question.
Sure.
So yes, I agree. I agree that get the people that you got the order to get people who that this person murdered someone, who this person sexually abused somebody, this person physically abused someone, this person's trafficking. 100% grab them because at the end of the day, I think. Well, I know they are putting a bad rep on the rest of the immigrants who are actually trying to work their butt off. But an example I'm gonna use, you're the little kid the 5-year-old child with the Spider-Man hat. I feel bad for not remembering his name.
Mm-hmm.
They used him to get to his father, right?
Right.
And they put him in
Wait.
the detention center.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you there. You're talking about the kid that they showed on TV that was by the ICE officer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the rest of the story?
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I know is that they took him and the father, and they released both of them.
Okay. Now let me tell you the story. The
Was
brief.
that the 4-year-old?
The
The
5-year-old.
5-year-old, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let me
5-year-old.
now let me. Okay. You just saw what the local media told you. Okay. The liberal media told you. Okay. Let
Well,
me
I'm 100% because if I'm being honest, like
let me debrief you. Okay. Now let me brief you. Just like I told the lady that's running this channel. Okay. If you and I were in a car and I was drinking and I got pulled over for a DUI and you were 5 years old, okay, you would be taken away from me. Okay. If you were my child and I was drinking, you would be taken away. When they pulled this gentleman over, first of all, he was already targeted because they briefed the ICE agents. He was already targeted. That was their target for the day. Okay. They knew what he was driving. They wanted him. He was already gone. He was bullseyed already. So they got him. When he realized that he was going to be caught, he ran. Okay. That was mistake number one. So when he ran, he abandoned that 5-year-old, his kid. So therefore, he said, you know what, son, you're on your own. How could you abandon your kid? So he thought of himself as a coward. Okay. First of all, what man leaves his child? Okay. So that was mistake number one.
That's true.
Okay. So he left his child by himself. So there are the ICE officers there. Now they're saying, oh my God. Now they had to catch the guy. The kid is by himself. So now you got the scum media. Now they say, oh, we just got our Pulitzer Prize award-winning TV shot right here. Now we're going to take that shot with the kid by the ICE officer, and we're going to put it all over the media showing that the kid has been abandoned or where the ICE officer's arresting him. Okay? What kind of crap is that, young lady? That the kid is going to be left by himself? The kid, are they going to say, hey, kid, you're on your own? No, he's 5 years old. They put the
Okay,
kid
we're
in the
gonna
back.
land. We're
You're
gonna
going to leave him
land.
in the freezing cold, in the ice, in the snow? No, we're going to pick him up. We're going to take him in a car, take him to Waffle House, McDonald's, get him some food, and take him to his mom. They tried to take him to the mom. The mom didn't even want him. And then they had to take him somewhere else, and then they figured out something for him later on. But
Okay, EQ, we gonna move it on
go
along
ahead.
from there. Emily, did that answer your question, honey?
Yes, and I just want to thank EQ man for educating me on more. Cause I'm here picking the things up from everybody, and
Good.
of course, I have my opinion. Everyone has their opinion. I'm here to collect everything that everyone says.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. That's what we
Educate yourself,
should be
honey.
able to.
Educate yourself, okay? Please.
Yeah, we should be able to. So, we're going to be winding it down because I do have to go to work tomorrow. But I see we have people who support ICE and we have people who oppose ICE. I believe on the panel, or they're somewhere in between. So I have a question, couple of questions. If you support ICE, what reforms would you support? And if you oppose ICE, what alternative systems would you replace it with? Did y'all understand me, or y'all want me to
Yes,
repeat it?
Yes.
I understood.
Okay. I got a list, so let me know if y'all need me to repeat something.
I'll go first. So reform. Definitely I would want to beef up the administrative support for ICE. I would definitely want to take more implementation of the system that they have using AI technology. I would want ICE to get refocused on their mission and objectives.
That's right.
Tighten up the borders using more of the AI technology. And the reason why administrative support would be good as far as part of the resources, because ICE already do biometrics, but they need to beef up the biometrics for border crossing and get more administrative judges and get also more support on the borders resources they need, and then that way they can beef up their 287G programs and have it mandatory that states cooperate with partnership with them. I know there are a lot of states that do, but I'm sure the blue states don't, but they're hurting the process as well. Make that program back stronger to partnership to do what they need to be doing. Those would be the main things I would want to improve with ICE.
Thank you so much, Whole Truth. Nisi Fly. I believe you said you oppose ICE, right? But you don't want open borders, right?
Right. But I would like to see ICE get some more training. That's what I would like to see ICE get. More training.
Okay. Is that it?
I want to say one thing. I think
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
For
hold on.
now.
Hold on one second, Emily. For now, that's it. Okay, next, because we going up, Emily. You're going to be after Lionel. Lionel, I believe you you support ICE. So, you remember the question?
Well, I might be a little bit off, a little bit off base with my answer, but yeah, I do support ICE. Okay, you going by with the dude like the Mexican guy,
Uh-uh. The,
EQ,
qu- nope.
the Hispanic guy. Can you say that?
Nope. I had asked the question. He gone. We moved on. So the question was, if you support ICE, what reforms would you support?
Well, if I support it,
Yeah, like is there any reforms you would like to see as far as ICE goes?
I mean, I think the training is there. I don't think they just let these people, they grab these people and they in 2 weeks they got them all out there working. I don't think it's nothing like that. But I can't, I don't work with them, so I can't really say what kind of training they do or anything like that. But I just think they just right now. I guess they're just trying to I'll put it like this: if you protect the criminals and you like that guy said and you letting them out of jail. I think if the states, especially the Democrat cities, states, if they play ball with ICE, you wouldn't have all these other arrests of people that's not really doing nothing. Because when Obama was when Obama was the president, he did more deporting than anybody, and nobody said a word about it. But those local governments was playing ball with him. So why they turn around now and do it now is kind of baffling to me. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Okay, go ahead, Emily, and then I'm gonna have the last thought. I'm gonna say what I think. Go ahead, Emily.
I think one of the reforms I think that should change is of course, do what you need to do to get all the bad people out, but don't put children in the way. Don't harm the children. Don't put the children in the way. Don't scare the children, because like I said earlier, these federal agents, these policemen are here to we should be relying on them to protect us. And right now, a whole bunch of people are scared. And another thing, protests. A lot of protests are peaceful, and then sometimes one person starts yelling and the ICE starts shooting or using their pellet guns. They're peaceful protests. Let them continue to be peaceful. I get it. Someone's in your face, step away. Back up just a little bit maybe. But unless it gets violent, don't become violent until someone starts getting violent with them.
Hey, Emily. I don't mean to rebut you, but I am going to say I did see a couple of ICE agents get hit with dildos.
Oh,
I saw that too.
that just threw me off.
I saw that.
I'm not with
They
none of
threw him
that.
in the car.
Right.
Yeah, I did see that.
I just don't think that
yeah,
people need to be getting hurt. People need to be getting hurt. No one need to be getting hurt.
or hit with dildos.
Especially with dildos.
Yes. Yes, host.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're going to end with my thought, y'all, because I got to go to work in the morning. But my thought is, it would be nice to see a change to the process. Like if you get arrested and you here on the work visa or however you here and you're not a United States citizen yet and you have the opportunity to be here, if you commit, I don't care if it's driving with no license, I don't care if you commit any crime. I think you should you should be sent back because that's just how I feel. I feel like you should be the model wannabe citizen or whatever. I just think any crime is just too much. I don't think I just it shouldn't take a violent crime. It's basically what I'm trying to say. If you do anything that's so-called illegal in this country, that's your chance, and you blew it. So, but that was a great conversation, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm learning. I'm not a scholar. What they say, people with a GED to a master's degree can understand, about this immigration process, and what they see, how it's affecting them in some way, whether if you feel like it's a negative effect on your community or if you support ICE and you feel like the other lady Bay who was here, you believe in open borders. We all have our own opinions on this topic. I definitely don't agree with open borders. I want to thank the whole truth for being here. She's a retired ICE agent. I want to thank Emily. Thank you so much for being here, sister. And I just wish I could send some hugs to you for you made it through. Whatever you went through, thank God you still here with us. Lionel, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. The whole truth, I already said it. Niecy Fly, you guys, that's my mom. I'm so happy she was here too.
And I would like to say, good panel, good show tonight.
Thank you, Mom.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of good topics
Thank you.
made. Good
This my
show.
second day, y'all. I'm new. I'm new. So y'all, on that note, I want to say good night to y'all and be
Night.
blessed.
Be blessed.
See y'all later.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn, for letting us speak out. Thank you very much for educating us, everyone here.
You
Thank you,
welcome.
love mama, for raising a beautiful
Goodbye.
and smart
Thank you.
daughter.
All right, y'all. Peace out.